Hi, my name is Diana Grimsley. I am a middle school teacher and I live in Clarksburg, Maryland. I grew up always playing sports. From the time that I was 6 years old, it was something that I was very passionate about. I played with my father. He was a big role model in my life. I've always been very active and seen as a sporty girl. A lot of the times I would play sports in my neighborhood with the boys because I was aggressive and it was something that I just enjoyed doing. So I was seen more of as that friend, the athlete. I just really enjoyed playing sports and being active. So growing up playing sports and being around lots of boys, even though I had a very athletic build, I didn't feel as attractive because I didn't have large breasts. My mom was a double D. I was not as lucky, and I felt that I would look more feminine if I would to get implants. And so that kind of got me on the path to thinking that's something that I would want to do, but it wasn't until later in my life that I actually went through with it. So at 22, I went through a hard breakup. We were engaged, broke that off, and I decided that I would finally pull the trigger and get implants. I thought that this would help me just kind of become a different person. After I got the implants, probably about 5 years later, I started to have symptoms that I didn't even know were associated with implants. 3 years ago, after my third child, I began to have severe food sensitivities. And it started off just happening occasionally once every few months. And then it progressively got worse. Finally, December 2020, my father passed away from COVID, and my body went through a lot of stress. And my symptoms were accelerated to the point where I was having a reaction almost every single day. I would bloat up and it would look like I was pregnant. I was limited to maybe 5 different types of food. I could not vary from that, or I would have a reaction. And sometimes I would still have a reaction even with the 5 foods I was eating. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I went through lots of doctors telling me everything was okay. I went through lots of testing. Everything came back absolutely normal. I saw a gastrologist. I saw a naturopath. I saw a dietitian. I saw my primary care physician. I met with everybody possible to figure out what was going on with me. I had a endoscopy done, I had blood workup done, I had an ultrasound done, and nothing came back with an answer. And it wasn't until my husband decided to just research one day and he stumbled across breast implant illness. And I read the description of symptoms, and there were like 48 different symptoms listed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have like 37 of those symptoms. That's it. And I just knew right away that that was it. And that's when we decided to get him out. So I decided to have the surgery in May, and right before that I had joined the Facebook group that's very prevalent in the BII community, and looking at people's stories and seeing like how were they recovering from implants, because I had known that mine had ruptured and I knew that I needed to detox from the silicone, and I wanted to do it properly. I wasn't going to just do the surgery and not go through with healing my body the way that it needed to be healed. In the group, it looked like a very cookie cutter approach, and I was thinking that's probably not the way I wanted to go. So I decided Pinterest, like just looked up breast implant illness, and I found Sarah Phillips, and I just came and I read her story and I connected to it, and I knew right away that I wanted to work with her. So I applied for an interview. to see if we could work together. And I consulted with her, and everything she was saying spoke to me. It was like nothing, nobody, it was finally like somebody was hearing me. Like nobody before her had heard what I was trying to say or do, but she got it. And the fact that she wanted to look not only from my implants, but look till from birth, I knew that this was the person I needed to work with. And we started to work together. She had recommended some dietary changes in addition to supplements. And within a week, the bloating was gone. And I had it the bloating didn't go away after surgery. It was 24 hours at that point. And I was just a balloon. And I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And I worked with her and it was gone. And I had all this energy. I felt like I had finally was living again. So the one piece of advice I would give other women who are struggling with breast implant illness is to be your own advocate. So many times we're told that everything is normal when we know that it's not. We're feeling like we're dying inside and we look like it. I went to too many doctors telling me everything was normal. I went to my plastic surgeon who didn't believe in breast implant illness, even though I was reading stories upon stories of women facing this. And it was up to me to decide to find somebody who actually did the surgery and was comfortable with the surgery and understood breast implant illness to finally get the relief. Because if I just took the advice of all these people that said everything was fine, I would still be struggling and I would have implants still leaking in my body. And that is not a way to live. And I feel like I made the best decision of my life. To be an explant thriver, it means to take your life back. It means that you get a brand new life, like a second chance to live. I thought I was living before. I thought, sleeping every single day or having not enough energy to be with my children. I thought that was just part of getting old and not what it was really supposed to be. I didn't believe that all of these symptoms were because of my implants. And they were. And now I'm finally able to take on new roles in my career, to take on new roles as a mom, to finally put myself first. And I feel so great. I'm seeing so many improvements just in my body that at 24 I was suffering with, that people are finally noticing that I look healthier than I did 10 years ago. And I honestly believe it's because of those implants. And I'm so excited that they're out and I'm enjoying my new body. I no longer feel that I need those to look feminine. I actually love that I can wear different shirts now because they're not bulky anymore. So it's great. But it's been such a hard journey. And I know how hard it is to make the decision and to go through all of the trials, but I don't regret it one bit because I've learned so much about myself and about my body and how to truly care for it. And if it wasn't for Sarah, I don't think that I would be where I am today. And I am so grateful for that and for her.